everybody, and welcome back to another video here at MC175 Productions. So, today in this video, I thought I would do a video on what it would be like for me if I had enough money to make my own car company. So, first of all, I'll start off with the brand name for my car company if I decided I'm going to make one, if I had the money for one. So, like every other car companies, if you didn't know, they're actually people's last names. So, here, I'll give you guys an example here. So, if you guys have ever heard of Chevrolet, Chevrolet's a pretty popular company out there. So, yeah, if you didn't know, the owner, well, not owner, but the person who founded it, it was actually, like, 3 people who founded it. And so, 2 brothers and 1 person. So, William C. Durant was one of the people who founded it, and the 2 others that founded Chevrolet are Arthur Chevrolet and Louis Chevrolet. So those are their last names, Chevrolet, and that's the brand of the car company that they founded. So that's how it would go for me. So my last name is Carlson. My car company would be named that, of course, Carlson. Now, how exactly would the models be? Like, for example, like names. So, first off, I would start off with model, of course. Kind of like Tesla, but my car company would be even better. But, so, I'll give you guys an example. So, trucks. If it was a truck that I'd be making, it would be called a Model T. And if I were to be making more than model, then it would be Model T with a random number. For example, T1, Model T1, for example. Yeah, so there you go. So that's how it would work. And it would same thing if it's SUV, if it's an SUV or something, or if I just wanted it to be like a normal like SUV, sport utility vehicle, I would just do YIL, like U, cause of course utility is like the actual real name of an SUV, sport utility vehicle. So yeah, I would do U. So Model U1 for that. And then the S, so Model S or something. That for like sports cars or sedans. No. Yeah, sedans or something for like Model S or something and like all that, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's how it would work. Now, for how would I do for like performance and stuff, I want to be like, I want my vehicles to be nice and cheap. Well, they don't always have to be cheap, but I'm going to tell you guys, like, for all, like, the motors and stuff or something. I wouldn't do gas at all, because it's, like, almost a little bit too late for me to start doing gas vehicles. But I'm going to tell you how it would be like. So, for the most performance, I would do a quad motor, so a motor powering each and every one of the wheels on a vehicle for performance. And yeah, obviously that would cost so much, but of course, if you don't want to have much, performance, get a tri-motor. So that would be 2 motors powering the back wheels and 1 motor powering the front. So, like, yeah, still a front, so like a frunk or something, and same thing with a quad motor, a frunk. But, yeah. Now moving on to the other 2. So, the twin motor, that's what it would be called. I'm not sure about the frunk or whatever, but for sure, I know that Tesla dual motors, yes, they're called dual motors, but I want mine to be called twin motors. But yeah, like dual motor Teslas have frunks, so I would do that too. Now, all my vehicles would have frunks. I mean, unless it's a little bit too expensive, then of course I would not. Then you could be an option out the frunk and just, whatever. If you want your car to be really cheap, then just maybe get a single motor, of course. But yeah, that's how it would go or something. Now for trims, for the base, it would just be called B for like base or something. And then if I want it to be like luxury kind of, it would be called L. Like luxury kind of, if you know what I mean. Sport, which would be the tri-motor one, which would be S. Now, for the well, I would actually, after those random numbers, it would be T. So, like, for example, BT would be base trim. Then luxury, LT, luxury trim. And then ST, that would be the sport trim, of course. Now, grand sport trim, that would be called GST, grand sport trim. So that would be the quad motor. That's how it would work. Now, next up, build quality. Of course, I'm going to have good build quality. Every vehicle that you might see me build or something, if I had the money for one, if I had the money, they would all have good build quality. Of course, better build quality than Mercedes, Tesla, anything you might think that is really, really terrible. Build quality on my vehicles would be a lot better than that, of course. Because, you know me, I would know a little bit more about cars than, you know, Elon Musk or something like that. But, yeah. All the while, yeah. Like, for example, we all know that Teslas don't have good build quality. And I want build quality that's really, really good. So, yeah, of course. And for those of you that haven't seen one of the video of when they were unveiling the Cybertruck, probably everybody knows what the Cybertruck is. We all don't like how it looks. It looks a little bit futuristic. For those of you that haven't seen one part, here's a little clip of some part that where Elon Musk was like completely embarrassed.
Sure? Yeah. Oh my God. Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
Like, wow. And it actually happened twice. Here's the part where they did it again.
It didn't go through. So that's a plus side.
Let's try the right.
Try that one? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, man.
It didn't go through.
Yeah, that was like that. I just laughed so much when I saw that. Like, yeah. But you know what? All the while, yeah. Alright. And yes, of course, because of that, my cars won't be futuristic either. And for features, I'm going to list the features I might want. So, regen braking. Yes. Of course. You could like put a little thing on the wheel or something so that way you can like stop the vehicle, like regen or something. It would just be called regen braking. I don't want it to be called anything else, just that. Like, you just press a little thing. I don't want to steal, like, GM's type of regen braking called regen on demand, because, yeah. But, you know. So, what I would do for that is, you know, of course, I could, like, do one-pedal driving. Lots of vehicles have one-pedal driving these days. That's called regen braking. Of course, I would still have the brake thing in the accelerator, of course. That's how you get the vehicle to move and stop. But then you have regen braking, of course. But how would I do that? Good question. The button or function for regen braking would be on the steering wheel somewhere. It wouldn't be a paddle shifter. It would just be a little button on the right side of the steering wheel. And all the radio controls would be on the other side of the steering wheel. So, one button on the top and one on the bottom and the one on the right and left for, like, you know, your radio controls and all that. Like, for volume and switching your songs. That's how it would work for something. And then, of course, all the same functions or something. Everyone is used to that. That's what I would like to have on, you know. So, yeah. And then, of course, I would have, like, maybe some, like, automatic opening doors. But, yeah. Now, another thing you might not know is there's no emergency release thing on Teslas. So I would, of course, add that in case of an emergency. And I would also put, like, a little emergency, little braking thing, like, where you hold like this, and there's a little pointy thing that breaks glass. I would put that in glove boxes and stuff. It would be a safety thing. And then, so how it would work for the transmission, it would just be in a different wait, it would be a push button transmission. It would be all push buttons or something. And a normal parking brake, like an automatic emergency brake, of course. So all you have to do whenever you're stopping, but of course I'll have the same function or something. You just pull the emergency brake, or just put your vehicle in park, and then you're gonna be stopped. So yeah. And then automatic doors, yes. And then whenever you hit the brake, it'll close the door. But yeah, that's how my vehicles would start. You would just hit the brake pedal, and then the vehicle would just start right up. It's the same idea as Lucid and Tesla and Rivian and all that. And probably pretty soon Chevrolet and all those. But yeah. And then I would also have a function on the key fob where you could like drive the vehicle, like use like kind of like Hyundai, but it wouldn't be called smart park. It would just be called tight parking. That's what it would be called. Tight park is what I would call it. So but you could also turn it too, so don't mess with that, folks. Definitely don't do that. And then yeah. Oh, and another thing I have to mention about starting the vehicle is I would not start it. I would make it so you wouldn't be able to start it unless your seatbelt's on and then your foot's on the brake. No push button or anything like that. But I would still include remote start and all that, unlock, power if you want that. And then what else? Oh, for the frunk, yes. If you wanted that, you could, of course, do that too, like power. Yeah, and then of course everything like for emergencies in case something was happening, like a fire. Yeah, that's how. Yeah. But then what else? Like maybe automatic pull-out seatbelts or something. If you wanted that, that would be in the luxury trim. But on that, you'd be able to option if you don't like a lot of chrome, you could just option it in black or something. But yeah. And then heated seats coming standard on every trim that you might want, and ventilated seats too, because yeah, weather is tough without heated seats or ventilated seats in cars, guys. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah. But all the while, yeah. But what if that? Yeah, that's all expensive. How can that be like really expensive? Well, you could. They don't have to. They're not all gonna be like standard features. You can option them if you want, or something. But yeah. And then I would be a little bit more. And then I wouldn't like use like incandescent turning signals on all my vehicles. Well, no, all my vehicles wouldn't have incandescent turning signals, but they also wouldn't look so futuristic. Like for example, my truck. If I were to make something like that, it would be electric, but it wouldn't look futuristic as like just as non-futuristic as my truck. Yeah. We all don't like things that are a little futuristic, but yeah, or something that looks like a toy or something like the Cybertruck or something. But yeah. Either way, guys, that is how it would work if I had my own car company, if I had enough money to build a car company. Now, for the question of this video, if you had enough money to build your own car company, how would all that work for you? You can always go ahead and let me know down in the comments how that would work for you. Like what would your title be or something, and what features would you have, and like what trims would you have? But yeah. So yeah, that is going to conclude it for this video, guys. Hope you guys like that or something, and I hope you guys like cars or something and like are very smart. But yeah. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. We'll talk to you guys later. Morris Carlson.